Hello, ladies and gents. Today is our 3 subscribers special. I couldn't have done it without you guys. And now, for what you came for. It is part 4 of the Finnegan on Finnegan Wake Wednesdays. And today I will be analyzing page 7 of Finnegan's Wake by James Joyce. And first, we'll go lines 1 through 4. Rock bound, hoa 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 hoa, and swim swam swum, and all the livy long night, the dell dappling night, the night of blueberry bells, her flit of flute in tricky trochees, O Carina. Wake him with her Ifasan Essavans and her patter Jack Martins about all. Now, here I think he's explaining that he swam on a long night, and then after doing that, he explains that he swam to go see a woman named Livy. I think this could be reference to Livy Doone, because he then said she did many tricks, and it had him screaming, "Oh Carina, oh Carina," and it had his pajamas or pack Jack Martins thrown all about. Next, I will be reading lines 5 through 19. Them ins and ouses, tilling a teal of a tom, telling a toll of a teary, turdy, tobbling, grace before glutton, for what we are, gifts a gross if we are, about to believe. So pull the bag and pass the kish for cross sake. Oh men, so sigh us, grandpapas is fallen down, but Grinny spreads the board. Weighs on the joint of a dish, thin foam of the flesh. Weighs he his bacon head, a loaf of Sing Pantry's Kennedy bread, and weighs hitched the top in his tail, a glass of Danu Udono's famous old Dublin ale. But lo, as you would quaff off his fraudstruff and sink teeth through that pith of a flower-white bodie, behold him of him as behemoth, for he is no wemo. Finish! Only a photograph of a yestern scene, almost Rubicon, Salma Solar, ancient from the ages of the age of Epaminondas. He is smolten in our midst, well-becanned and packed away, so that meal's dead off for summon, schlick slice, and good red herring. Now, I think he was saying that, like, in life, there's a lots of ins and outs. And then he recites a famous tongue twister after. Just for the fuck of it. But then he gets more serious. And he brings up the term grace for glutton, which is supposed to mean, like, first you pray, then you sin. And then he talks about this crawfish that's taken out. And I think he finishes his prayer and he says, Amen. And then he thinks to himself, who is deserving of such a dish? Because with this dish, he talks about some very nice baked bread and a famous old ale. But then he sinks his teeth into the behemoth of that meal. Almost a meal of his great ancestors. The meal is just as good as the dead summons before him would have had. Truly touching. Next, I will be reading lines 20 through 27. Yet may we not see still the Brontoicathan form outlined as slumbered even in our own nighttime by the sedge of the troutling stream that Bronto loved and Bronto has a lien on. His cubat idilis apud libertanum parvulum. What if she be in flags or flitters, reeky rags or Sunday chosies, with a mint of mines or beggar a penny weight? Arrah, sure we all love little Annie Rooney, or we mean to say love little Anna Raini, when under her umbrella, mid-piddle med puddle, she nanny goes, nancing by, yo. Here, I think he's referencing that, like, though we may not see the great Bronchiosaurus, which was a sick-ass dinosaur, we still have trout that still live in these streams, in these waters. And that's pretty cool, too. And then the next sentence he says, that sounds like gibberish, is actually Latin. And I've translated the Latin to mean, here sleeps the magic strait of public buildings with the little freed girl. And then he gets to go on and talk about, like, what if this woman wears rags that reek or nice Sunday clothes? And after this, he sings an old tune from Anglo-ish folklore. Next, I will be reading lines 28 through 36. Brontolone slaps your snores upon Beth Heather, and Sepal Isset too, the Krennic head on him. Caster of his reasons, peer you thunder in yon mist. Wooth, his clay feet, sworded in vertigra, stick up stark when he last fell on him, by the mund of the magazine wall, where a Maggie seen all, with her sister in shawl. While over against this Bell's alliance beyond ill 60 ololaloud ill. Bagsides of the fort, bomb, lurk the ambushes, the sight of the lifting and weight of the upchalk and Hockums, hence when the clouds roll by, Jamie, a proud's eye view is. Here it's speaking of Ben and Brontolone. And they're sleeping till they get slapped in their craniums or their heads. And this hurts them really bad. And one of the two guys, his clay feet, sticks into the ground. And this all takes place at a place called Magazine Wall. And Magazine Wall is actually a very famous area in Phoenix Park, which is in Dublin, which would make sense. This is where most of the story has taken place. And there, they have a sister named Maggie who has seen all in her past. And then it goes on to talk about Bell's Alliance. I think it was still talking about Maggie. And the Bell's Alliance is actually a nickname for the Battle of Waterloo, or also known as the La Belle Alliance. And then I think it goes into just many of the horrible things that Maggie saw and witnessed while in just living by this war. Well, thank you for watching this week's installment. I will see you next week, and we'll see if maybe we can hit a whopping 5 subscribers. Have a good week.